Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to build a professional digital payment receipt feature for our Flutter banking app. By the end of this tutorial, you'll have beautiful, shareable transaction receipts that work on web, Android, and iOS. Here's what we'll create: a detailed transaction receipt with status badges, transaction information, and the ability to share it as an image across all platforms. Let's start by adding our dependencies. Open your pubspec.yaml file and add these packages. We're using Share Plus for the sharing functionality and Path Provider for file operations on mobile platforms. Now run Flutter pub-get to install these packages. Now let's create our receipt page. Create a new file called transactionreceipt.dart in your lib folder. We will come back to this page in a short while. First, we need to modify our existing transaction page to add a share button. This will let users view and share their transaction receipts. Now, let's find the transaction card class and scroll down to the Show Transaction Details method. Here's our current transaction detail modal. We have a single close button. We're going to replace this with two buttons, Close and Share. Delete the existing close button code and replace it with this new two-button layout. We're creating a row with two expanded widgets. The first button is our close button with an outline style. And the second button is our new Share button. When clicked, it closes the modal and navigates to the receipt page, passing all the transaction data. Notice how we're passing all the transaction details: ID, type, description, category, amount, timestamp, note, recipient, and sender. The receipt page will use all of this data. Let's start with our imports. We need Material, rendering for the image capture, Foundation for platform detection, International for formatting, and our Firebase packages. We also import Share Plus for sharing, Path Provider for file operations, and Dart, I/O for file handling on mobile. Let's define our primary color constant to match our app theme. Now we'll create a stateful widget called Transaction Receipt Page. This page needs to receive all the transaction data from the previous screen. We're setting up all these parameters: transaction ID, type, description, category, amount, and optional fields like timestamp, note, recipient, and sender. In our state class, we'll need two important variables: a global key for capturing the receipt as an image, and a Boolean to track when we're sharing. At the top of the file, we'll add an import for our new receipt page. Now when we tap on a transaction, we see our new Close and Share buttons. Now we will continue with our transaction receipt page. The build method returns a scaffold with a gray background. Our app bar has a title, transaction receipt, a back button, and a share button in the actions. Now let's implement the share functionality. This is where things get interesting because we need to handle web, Android, and iOS differently. First, we set our isSharing flag to true to show a loading indicator. Then, we wrap everything in a try-catch for error handling. Here's the magic. We find our repaint boundary using the global key, convert it to an image with 3 times pixel ratio for high quality, and then convert that image to PNG bytes. This to image method is what actually captures our receipt widget as an image. Pretty cool, right? If anything goes wrong, we show a red snack bar with the error message. And in the finally block, we set isSharing back to false. The body is a single child scroll view with padding. Inside, we have a RepaintBoundary wrapping our receipt card. This is crucial. It allows us to capture this widget as an image later. See how we attach our global key here? This is what we'll use to find and capture this specific widget. Now let's build the actual receipt card. This is where the magic happens. First, we determine if this is a debit or credit transaction, format the amount as currency, and format the timestamp into a readable date. We create a container with white background, rounded corners, and a subtle shadow for that card effect. The header section has a green background for successful transactions. We show a check icon and a circular container, the transaction type, either payment sent or payment received, and the amount in large, bold text. Below the header, we have a status badge showing completed with a green background and check icon. The transaction details section shows all the important information. The reference number is highlighted in blue, and we show the date, transaction type, and category. Notice these conditional sections. If there's a recipient, we show it. If there's a sender, we show that too. Same with the note field. This makes our receipt flexible for different transaction types. The amount details section breaks down the payment. In this case, we're showing the amount, service fee, which is 0, and the total amount in bold. Finally, the footer has a light gray background with an info message and support contact. We have 3 helper methods to keep our code clean. Build status badge creates the completed badge, build detail row creates those label value pairs you saw, and build amount row formats the amount rows. Finally, our action buttons. The Share button shows a loading indicator when sharing is in progress. The Done button simply pops the page to go back. Now here's the important part. Platform detection. We use K as web to check if we're running on web. For web, we can't use the file system, so we create an X file directly from the bytes in memory. We give it a name and MIME type, then share it. For mobile platforms, Android and iOS, we need to save the file first. We get the temporary directory, create a file with our receipt data, write the bytes to it, and then share the file path. If anything goes wrong, we show a red snack bar with the error message. Perfect! Now our share functionality is complete. But before we can test it on mobile devices, we need to add some permissions. Let's configure the platform-specific permissions. These are necessary for saving and sharing files on mobile devices. Open your Android manifest.xml file. We need to add storage permissions inside the manifest tag, but before the application tag. These two permissions allow us to write to and read from external storage. If you're targeting Android 13 or higher, also add this permission for media images. This is required for newer Android versions due to scope storage changes. Now for iOS, open your info.plist file. We need to add usage descriptions inside the dict tag. These descriptions tell users why the app needs photo library access. iOS will show these messages when requesting permission. Great! Now our app has the necessary permissions for all platforms. Let's move on to the final integration. The last step is to integrate our receipt page with the QR payment flow. When a payment is successful, we want to show the receipt instead of just going back to the home screen. First, add the import at the top of the file. Now let's find the confirm payment method in the payment confirmation screen state class. Scroll down to the success handling section. Here's where we currently pop back with a success result. We're going to replace this with navigation to our receipt page. Delete this line and replace it with a navigator.push replacement. We use push replacement instead of push because we don't want users to go back to the confirmation screen after seeing the receipt. We create a unique transaction ID using the current timestamp. Set the type to debit, since this is a payment being sent, and pass all the payment details, including the amount, recipient name, and any note the user added. Notice how we're creating a complete transaction record here, with all the necessary information for the receipt. Perfect! Now let's test the complete flow. Now let's test what we had built. Go to the transaction history page, tap on any transaction. The details modal opens with our new close and share buttons. Click share. Perfect! The receipt opens with all the transaction data. And the share button works here too. And here's the best part. This works exactly the same way on web. The platform detection handles everything automatically. And that's it! We've successfully built a professional digital payment receipt feature that works on web, Android, and iOS. This feature adds a professional touch to any banking or payment app. Users can now keep records of their transactions and share them easily. If you found this tutorial helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more Flutter tutorials. The complete source code is available in the description below. So make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on. Thanks for watching and happy coding. See you in the next one.